months ago, it was less than 1%. So every day it's growing. So personally, I look at these things, from a marketing standpoint. Everything I see now is about crypto. If I'm looking at watching sports, if I'm watching football or baseball, even the World Series, I saw crypto ads all over the place. 6 months ago, you didn't see that. You didn't see a crypto.com. You didn't see, any of these athletes or celebrities creating NFTs. You didn't see blockchain development, cybersecurity. You just didn't see that kind of stuff. So here we are, in a span of 10 months in 2021, 11, and it's just been so much more adaptive. So it really is the way to the future. I think Saitaman is really kind of setting the road ahead for everybody and pioneering the way. The team that we have is building something really amazing. We're constantly pushing the envelope. I think I've kind of noticed now that a lot of other companies and different projects will kind of mimic what we're doing. They're trying to anyways. So I think as long as we continue to push it and stay ahead of everybody, then we'll continue to be successful. So that's the plan. We have no plans on taking the foot off the gas. So we every day we're implementing different things and different strategies. So this will be a lot of fun. So our wallet that we're doing next weekend in September will be the beginning, of what we're doing. We've been around for a long time, but I feel like really next weekend will be day one, because that's when we're going to implement what we've been working on this whole time. So as we release the actual tech, that'll be the first milestone achieved. That'll be the first step in where we want to go. We will implement version 1.1, version 1.2. Continue to integrate all these industries into crypto, give them opportunities, and really shape the way that people handle business every day. So it doesn't matter, if you own a taco truck or you're a Fortune 500 company, you're going to have crypto involved in your business one way or another. So either if you're a consumer or a company owner, it's going to be there. Whether or not you want to use it is entirely up to you. But it's just one of those things that people, I think, will, once they feel more comfortable with it, they'll want to get on board.
A lot of people are saying that it's too late to get into Saitama. What do you have to say about that?
It's never too late, right? So if you look, I'm a numbers guy in finance. I look at market cap. So I think today, I don't even know what our market cap is today, but it's got to be less, right around 10 billion market cap. Around 10 billion. So it's around 10 billion market cap. I look at other coins. If you look at predominant altcoins on the blockchain, the Cardano, Ethereum, XRP, even some of the more well-known meme coins, Dogecoin, Shiba, they have reached and are over close to the 50 to 100 billion market cap. So what we offer is much more than that. We're not a traditional meme coin. We're more of an altcoin, so we'll have the relevancy and use case of these XRPs and Cardano. So if you put us in that top 5 category in the next 6, 12, 18 months, our market cap could be 100 billion, it could be 200 billion. So if you look at a 10 billion market cap now, do 10x, you're 100 billion, right? And that's just the beginning. So is it too late? No, absolutely not. And with being that we're a deflationary token, the market cap and cost of the coin is going to continue to go up. Like, nobody's lived long enough to see what DeFi means, and Saitaman is one of the original DeFi coins. So as the circulating supply decreases, the value is going to go up. How much? We don't know. You can run the numbers, but it's all projected, right? There's just too many variables involved. So the circulating supply is going to continue to decrease over time, and the price it's just really going to keep going and going, right? It's just going to keep shrinking. Supply demand kicks in, price increases, so it's never too late. We're always going to reach new highs. So looking at our chart prospectively from an investing standpoint, it's probably one of the healthiest charts I've seen. Like, there is no real straight up followed by a straight down. It's just straight up, slight correction, and then new all-time high, slight correction. It really is the most healthiest chart I've ever seen, and that means that we're doing something different, because you can almost put every single crypto chart next to each other and look at them, and they're all the same. It just has one giant leap followed by a massive sell-off followed by a flat line for a very long time until something new happens. So the way that we have done it is constantly integrating new things, and kind of like I said, pushing the envelope, which allows us to bring in new investors, to bring in new partners, to be really innovative in the space and create not just hype, but more of a utility. It's where people can get behind the project and then talk about it and tell their friends. Nothing travels faster than people making money, I promise you. If you're in a room full of your friends and family, the topic of conversation to you to bring up is going to be how much money you made in crypto. It really is. You can talk about the weather, you can talk about your favorite sports team, but at some point in time, especially with a group of friends, but hey, do you know anything about crypto? Like, oh, I know a little bit. Or you're talking about Bitcoin. Like, no. Well, I'm talking about Saitaman. I made X amount of dollars in the last 6 months. And those are the people like, well, I've been saving since high school, and I got 10 grand. Like, it's awesome. I made 10 grand on my drive over here this morning. They're like, wait, that's impossible. Like, no, seriously, it's real. So, a lot of my friends and family were all skeptics. They were all Saitaman holders now. And they all blow my phone up all the time. So, to give you an example, yeah. So I gave my dad. He's old, worked his whole life, never really had anything, lives on Social Security. He came down to Corpus a few months ago. I gave him $300 of Saitama for Father's Day. Right? He was asleep on my couch because he's old and old people fall asleep early, even me, pass out on the couch. So he's snoring on my couch, and I grabbed his cell phone, and I downloaded Trust Wallet. I sent him $300 worth of Saitama and didn't tell him about it. So then he flew home, and then we had our first little run-up, and I was like, hey, I downloaded this thing on your wallet, or on your phone, it's called Trust Wallet, open it up. So he opened it up, and he had like $1,000 in there. He's like, what is this? I was like, it's crypto, you gotta, just don't look at it, keep it. And I was like, all right. So then he started doing a little bit of research on it and was checking it out, and then now, literally every day we hit a new all-time high, he sends me a snapshot. Every day. At least 5 times a day. And it's more money than he's ever had. I think now it's like $150,000, and he doesn't have any money. He worked his whole life and then, lives on $1,200 a month Social Security. So, $150,000 at that point is a lot of money. And he wants to cash it out every 5 minutes. Just leave it. Just leave it. He wanted to cash it out at $10,000. He's like, it's more, I don't know, I can do so many things with $10,000. Just leave it. So now he's got like 150 and he's still, but, yeah.
You make it sound so easy to buy. It's hard.
No, it is. It is very hard. Trust me. So, yeah, it is. It is so difficult to buy. And a lot of times now, too, like friends that I talk to, and I try to tell them over the phone how to buy it. Like, download Trust Wallet. And they're like, what's Trust Wallet? I'm like, go on the App Store, download. It looks like a shield. I'm like, okay. Now, yeah, and then go to Uniswap. What's Uniswap? I gotta send them a link to Uniswap. And I'm like, follow the video. I'll send you a video. There's tutorials on our website. And then they do that, and they'll still call me. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So most of the time, I'll just sell them a few coins of mine. Just like, what do you want? Like $200? I'll just sell you some of mine. Just cash at me. But the process in itself is very difficult. And even for me, when I first learned about crypto, it's not like it hasn't gotten any easier. And there's really no education material out there and directions and tutorials. It's literally impossible to do. So I watched every single video I could find, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I have a master's degree in finance, and I cannot figure out how to buy this damn coin. And it was so frustrating for me at that time. And I'm watching these kids on YouTube, and like, oh yeah, and I'm like, okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's the same concept. Yeah.
Is there a lockout period to withdraw?
To withdraw? No. You can, to withdraw your coins from the wallet, or from your wallet? No. Yeah, you can take it out whenever. It's open. There's no restriction. Unless you have your coins with liquidity, and then you can lock them, or you can leave them open.
Ether to exchange, or is it another coin?
No, so Saitama's on the Ethereum network, so you have to exchange Ethereum for Saitama. Now, we have different exchanges you can utilize, Bitmart, Altbank, BKX, Gate.io. So it depends on what platform you're familiar with.
Bitmart is horrible.
Yeah, they're all horrible. I hate exchanges. All of them.
Saitaman.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, Saitaman. So we'll have that next weekend. We're also integrating a card to crypto payment system on there. So all you have to do, it probably won't be ready next weekend, but we're working with Visa to integrate a card to crypto payment system, so you'll have your debit card on there.
Because Bitmart doesn't, the Visa doesn't let you connect.
Yeah, none of them, they're all trash. That's why I hate them. But our system we're working with some partners that will allow us to have a card to crypto payment system on there. You can hook it up, use your debit card, buy crypto, then you can convert your crypto however you want. And we're also looking at the reversal process where you can send it back to your bank and KYC through our app.
How's the beta going for CMS?
It's great. It's great. I didn't even beta test, to be honest with you. But I've got nothing but good feedback. Right? Like, I don't even have time to test it. I would, but honestly, I'm not even going to be a good prospect for you guys because I just don't have time to search for the bugs and to do all this stuff. I have all the faith in the community and the tech team to do that stuff, so I'm like, let's do it. Yeah.
So I'm reading recently about Saitama being a pioneer in the healthcare industry. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, oh yeah, so we have we're going to unveil some stuff next Saturday, so I don't want to give away too much.
Okay. All right.
But we are going to do a lot of amazing things with healthcare.
Okay.
We're going to revamp a lot of the billing, coding, just a lot of really cool stuff. So we're going to do a whole part of the premiere next Saturday will actually be an unveiling, so to speak, of how we're going to integrate medical billing, and not just billing, but everything and beyond, pharmaceutical, everything. And a good thing about the metaverse is when we have all this created, you can actually go see a doctor inside the metaverse without leaving your home. So if you have, it doesn't matter if it's a therapist, counselor, outside of something that's extensive like an ear, nose, and throat where you have to physically go in for them to see, you can do it touchless through the metaverse.
All right, looking forward.
Can you explain the option to stack within the wallet when it comes out?
Oh.
You could stake your coins?
Yeah. So within the wallet, like you can stake your coin. Everybody's staking their coins in a wallet right now, whether you believe it or not. You're getting 2% reflection. So your coins are adding up every day. Right? That's considered staking, but it's done automatically. So in the Saita wallet, as you put your coins in there and you stake them into liquidity, you have an option to get more. So I think Max is saying they're going to make it like 3 or 4%. I don't know what they landed on.
Yeah, but we're gonna be better than the other wallets that are providing. So we have to beat them in their game. Yeah.
So it'll either be 3 or 4%. I don't know if Max landed on a number yet because we have to figure out. There's a lot more that goes into it because when we stake the coins, it's outside of the actual smart contract. So we have to provide those tokens to give to you. It's not automatic like the 2% is. So we have to figure out the numbers and do way too much math, and I think we'll see what we land on. It'll either be 3 or 4%. So you'll get extra, yeah.
So for how long though? How long would you have? Like, is it like a 3 months, 6
No,
months?
you can stake it for a day. You can pull it out immediately afterwards. You can do it a month, 6 months. Yeah, it's really up to you. Obviously, the longer you keep it in there, the more rewards you'll get. But there's no restrictions on it. No, you can do it as little or as long as you want.
Can you talk a little bit about all of the projects that's going on around Saitama? Gaming,
Oh, yeah.
NFT.
So aside from, we have so many different projects going on, like it's almost impossible for me to keep track. So there's a few people like on my administrative team that help me keep track because I don't even operate my own calendar at the times because I forget. I have an app and they'll just like call and remind me, hey, you got a Zoom call at this time or you got to be here at this time. So the amount of projects that we have is just immense. So aside from the metaverse, and we're creating this whole ecosystem in the medical field. Obviously the wallet, everything that's going on with the wallet. We have the education portion that'll be on there, which will also be integrated into the metaverse to where we'll have education content wrapped around esports events. We have contracts with every single HBCU university in North America where we're going to be doing esports events for these different colleges that will also have different unique coins for. So it'll be Howard University esports coin versus Tennessee State, where we'll be sponsoring all these events. We'll have education content created around that, so where people, alumni, faculty, staff, and general public can go onto this platform and learn about Saitama, not Saitama, but cryptocurrency in general, all the way from what crypto is to how to deploy your own token on the blockchain. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the education portal. and it'll be ever growing. So aside from that, we have the gaming platform, which is part of Sata Studios, that we have a couple games that we're working on right now. There'll be like a play to earn style game. So that'll also be inserted into our wallet. As we bring on other coins through our wallet, we'll have their games too inside the metaverse that we'll partner with. NFT, we'll have an NFT marketplace, NFT museum. We have a ton of people that we're working on NFTs for right now. So that's going to be a huge part of what we're doing, especially in the metaverse as well. NFTs are huge. So an NFT is, the definition by definition is a non-fungible token. So what is that in hindsight is a piece of art. So any piece of art you see here on the wall could essentially be an NFT. It's just a piece of art that lives on the blockchain, whether it's a still image, whether it's a painting, a piece of photography, or an actual video. We have up to 200 megabytes that you can create something on the blockchain with, and that is what creates the NFT. So we have a lot of different ideas that we're going to insert into the NFTs. So right now we're building ones for some retired basketball players and NFL players. We're minting them kind of like a card, but instead of just a traditional basketball card or baseball card, it'll have a still frame image of them, some stats, and we'll actually insert some video clippings. So for example, some of these Hall of Fame basketball players, they have impacted a lot of people's lives, right? So they've done a lot for the community, they've done a lot for the sport, and a lot of them are now almost irrelevant. You know, if you ask about some of these guys, nobody really knows who they are because they played a long time ago. But in their prime, they did a lot for the community, they did a lot for the sport. So we're having some interviews, some of the highlights, not just in their professional career, but also in their character and their personal life. So we're inserting some of these things into the NFT. So as people buy them, they kind of get a backstory. And that's just for those one specific NFTs that we're doing. We're doing a lot of other ones, but that's an NFT. And you can do anything with it, and they're really amazing. So it can be anything you want it to be. You know, as you guys saw when we did the car NFT for the Vegas, it was the little moon car that you could drive around on the moon. It can actually integrate like a playing version of an NFT, which is cool. So we're messing with that idea right now too. So there's really a lot, but that'll be the NFT portion.
I have two more questions from the back.
Back, relaying questions.
So first, well, they're two-part question. One is the wallet that we have coming out, or even any wallet in general. How do we minimize hacking? Basically, with all the hacking that we're seeing, people's wallets are being hacked. It's like, what do you recommend? How do people, besides giving out your seed phrases, what else would you recommend that people do to minimize that?
Yeah, so I mean, with our wallet, we'll have the audit, right? We'll have the certificate audit, which will help with some of the security. The seed phrase will be implemented onto the wallet itself, but it will still be only as safe as the user makes it. Right? If you're out clicking links and you're handing out your seed phrase inadvertently even, there's no security in the world that can protect you from that. It doesn't matter how safe, the wallet is. There's ways to get access to your wallet. You can airdropping tokens, and that doesn't have anything to do with us or any platform that you're on. Anybody can airdrop you tokens. Like, if I have your receipt code, I can send you tokens and you don't even know it, right? And if I send you tokens and you sell them, right, you now have handed over access to your wallet. But not in a sense that you receipt codes that way, the way they encrypt it, right? Not just random codes. Like if I send you Saitaman, I don't have access to your wallet. But if you get randomly airdrop tokens or an NFT even, they now have access to your wallet if you try to sell them. If it's in there, leave it alone, don't touch it, you're fine. But if you try to actually associate with that and you try to sell it or swap it for something else, and they make it enticing, right? They're gonna give you $1,000, $2,000 or more. I mean, I've gotten some that are upwards of like $100,000, some random coin for $100,000. And nothing is free, I promise. If it looks too good to be true, it is, I promise, because they'll take our stuff.
Are you planning on listing on like Coinbase or any other big exchanges anytime soon?
Can you repeat the question?
So his question was, are we planning on listing on Coinbase or any other major exchanges? So I had kind of talked about it, and for those of you guys who like to watch some of the AMAs and the YouTube lives and stuff that I do, we will probably list on every single exchange, just a matter of time. So we average right now between 40 and $60 million a day in volume. Every time a transaction takes place on a centralized exchange, they get a percentage of that. We don't, they do. So any exchange would be dumb to not list us because it's an absolute ton of money for them to get, right? Plus the listing fee that we pay, which is absurd, and then the marketing and everything else. So they are always on the lookout for the next big coin, right? They're always looking for that next paycheck for them. So the amount of holders we have, the amount of volume we have, the team behind it, the community, they're gonna list us, right? And they're gonna probably do it without us even asking. We don't really need to pursue it because we're creating our own platform. So why would we hand out business to somebody else when we have it? I mean, we don't really need to, but I understand that people feel more comfortable on Binance. They feel more comfortable on Coinbase. You know, especially since our platform will be new, even though we've beta tested, and we have an audit. They'll still feel more comfortable on a platform they're used to. So we'll still list on them, and they'll probably just come to us, or they'll list us for free, or they'll send me an email and say, hey, we want to list Saitama. We just need to get some liquidity, and then we'll wrap some marketing around it, and we'll do it. So I'm not against it.
181,000 holders today.
Yeah, see, 181,000. That's crazy. Yeah. So I was thinking about this last night. This is kind of random, but when we had Telegram and we first opened our Telegram chat, there was like 400 people in there, and every single person that joined, I used to greet each individual one by one, for like every single day. Like literally 18 hours a day. One person would join, I would welcome and ask them if they had any questions. The next person would join, welcome them and ask them if they have any questions. And I was thinking about that last night because I still have the Telegram, but I don't get it in the chat because it's so crazy and I'm busy. But we literally get thousands of people in there all day, every day. And I was like, man, imagine if I was to welcome and greet every single person and ask them that question. I would never get anything done. But it just kind of shows the amount of growth that we've had. And people think, well, that's crazy. You guys have probably been at this for years. Like, no, I've been doing it for like 6 months. So it's insane. So yeah, 180,000 is pretty impressive.
That goal of 200, right, by 13th. So.
Yeah, if we could do 200 by the 13th, yeah, then I think Binance would have to list us at that point.
To answer her question, it's called dusting when a token comes into your wallet. Can you get it? It's called dusting when a token comes into your wallet or airdrop. So we are working on that too to block it totally. And if you didn't buy a token and it shows like a good $1 million, don't touch it. So we're gonna work, to block dusting. If that's something, that Coinbase, is a multi-billion-dollar company. They haven't done it. Even Trust Wallet, but we will be the first one, to implement such coding into the wallet.
Hey, Aaron, when we talk about this project, you was explaining to me about a 2% passive income. Can you touch that a little bit? Because it's feel like everybody that I introduced to this project to, they didn't understand the passive income until I kind of break it down to them. And
Sure.
it make a lot of sense.
Okay, so every time a transaction happens, 2% of that gets burned, goes into the burn wallet, which does decrease, the value of the token circulation, and the other 2% gets redistributed among all the holders. So if somebody buys $1 million worth of token, so the 2% of that is going to be redistributed among all the holders. So that is, the passive income that you're earning. Yes. And on top of it, as Russ said, once you do staking into the wallet, you're going to earn, another percentage, but it's going to be based on different tokens. For example, if you want to stake your Ethereum, we have to, work on that because it's a separate percentage. We cannot give, 4% or 10% on Ethereum, or if you do, for example, Saitama. So we're going to, Max is the one, he's the brain behind that, and he's going to work it out. But we make sure we're going to be competitive. Yeah.
Thank you. So the reflection, which is the 2%, is basically like every 10 seconds we get a dividend from somebody buying or selling.
Yes,
And our
exactly.
tokens just go up for free. Every single day, millions of tokens.
Yes, that's true. His question was like, do we get the reflection instantly? Yes, if you have Coinbase wallet or Trust wallet, it shows right away.
Right away.
Yeah, so within seconds, you see your token grow. But if you are holding, like billions, of course, it's not gonna be like, a lot of people expect that, 1 billion turns to 2 billion. But no, you have to, some people said my token didn't change. It's gonna change, in millions. So not like, you don't have to look at the very last number. And they're like, my token is not changing, what's going on? I said, okay, take a snapshot of your photo now, of your wallet now. Just wait next, maybe like a day later. If you take a photo, you will see that there is, a difference in the number.
We got a question on the live stream. Taylor Law is asking, can you guys explain how the swap feature will work with Saitaman? That here all tokens will need to be purchased with Saitama. Is that true?
Yeah, so as we...
Can you repeat the question so we can all...
Yeah, so the question was asking about the swap feature on the wallet. How do we swap tokens on there? Is it just in Saitama, or can you swap other tokens on there? So the way that a wallet is, the way that ours is going to work is similar to any platform, any other swap. So you don't have to just swap Saitama for this coin, or this coin for another. Whatever coins you have integrated on there that have the swap capability and have liquidity into it, you can exchange for. So if we need to utilize the blockchain to make these transactions, we will, but the idea is to have liquidity in these coins to make a swap for them. And instead of paying an Ethereum gas fee, you just use Saitama for that fee, which will be very minimal. So that's what benefits every holder, is they all have to hold Saitama to do. So everybody that swaps tokens right now, you have to hold at least a little bit of Ethereum to make that transaction. It'll be similar on the Saita wallets, where you'll have to have a little bit of Saitama to make any transaction. So that increases the holders. You'll have to replenish your Saitama stock in order to make those transactions go through. So, in short, it won't just be Saitama. You can exchange whatever coins that we have on there. So we're trying to implement some now, so when the swap function becomes available, people can purchase those coins. Now, as we move along, we'll bring in and we'll integrate more and more coins onto that platform. But we want to make sure that we're doing it right. We want to make sure that, A, they're legitimate coins, right? We're not going to let any kind of projects come onto our platform that aren't vetted, that don't have an audit, that are not actual legitimate coins, right? And we're not just going to let random ones on there. So we have a little bit of a vetting process that we go through, but as we move forward, we'll vet all these ones. And there is some really good coins out there that do have promise, right? But we'll make sure that we have them on there. It's just an application process for them to go through. And then aside from that, it's us looking at them, diving into the smart contract, looking at the Etherscan report, making sure that there's no red flags, right? Because we can eyeball them. We've been around long enough that we can see these red flags, so we can say, okay, this doesn't make sense to us. This has potential to be dangerous for our holders. This is a security risk. It could potentially be a honeypot or rug pull. The developer owns 80% of the circulating supply. Like, that's not good. So we won't list them. But we'll have all of them on there. The worth ones, the ones that are worthwhile, we'll put them on there.
Can you explain the Saita Social?
So Saita Social will be on probably version 1. I don't know if we're going to do version 1.1 or if we'll go version 1 to 1.5. Regardless, it'll be, Saita Social will be on the next version. The Saita Social will be a place, an integrated marketplace, where you can go on and create your own content, and people can vote on it. So the more votes your content gets, you can earn free Saitama token with it. You can win, contests and things like that. We can use your content for an NFT, use it for marketing or whatever. It's just a fun place to hang out, create digital content, integrate with the community, and it'll also play a pivotal role into our metaverse, where we're going to have a social society on there where you can go and your avatar can mingle with the community. It's just going to be a really cool experience for everybody. So, is that a question?
Okay, for us beginners, do you have like a step-by-step guide on how to get started? Like where do we find that specifically? Sorry, I was sitting in it, it's hard to hear.
Oh, no, you're good. So you can go onto our website. There's a step-by-step guide, and we try to make it as seamless as possible, but it's still German almost. So the best way, I mean, there's lots of videos out there. Yeah, it's tough. And yeah, I mean, we have videos and stuff on there. We have a step-by-step process, but it still can be difficult. So just research as much as possible.
So we had another question from the live stream. Somebody asked, why is it important to have higher Saitama token holders?
Why is it important to have more holders?
I believe so.
Okay, so the more holders you have, right, obviously the more investors, the more people own the coin, the higher the value is. But it's also important to have wallet distribution. So the idea as we grow, and you guys will notice like there's large holders that sell a significant amount, right? They'll sell 50 Ethereum, they'll sell 100 Ethereum. These people probably bought in really early, right? So they may have purchased $1,000 months ago. Well, now that $1,000 is worth, $1 million, right? So they're taking profit, they're doing whatever they want. But it's important for that to happen because each time one person sells, 30 more people buy. And they're not buying $1 million, they're buying 500 or 1,000 or less. So now you're creating a stronger base. You're getting more of a better wallet distribution, which makes it a more secure and healthy investment because you don't want it to be top heavy. You don't want all these people to control the price of the coin, right? So you want more investors at smaller amounts, so that way when they sell or take profit, it doesn't affect the prices badly. So if you have someone that's selling $1 million at a time, obviously you get drastic price decreases.
Having a corporate company, are you at all concerned that the central banking system will inhibit the growth of cryptocurrency moving forward?
No, because we keep it separate. Like all the stuff that we do with the corporation is completely different than what we do with cryptocurrency. So the reason why we are incorporated, that we have a corporate structure, is so we can create partnerships, that we can do different things in the non-cryptocurrency regime. So if we want to partner with the medical industry, if we want to partner with these different universities, we can do it through our LLC instead of the actual crypto coin, because as you know, they don't accept cryptocurrency. So a lot of things we do are paid in traditional wire transfers. So when we do marketing, when we create contracts with different companies, if we can pay in cryptocurrency, we will. But a lot of people aren't there yet. So we can't convert, for example, I can't convert Saitama to my bank account and then send it to them, because for one, it's a taxable event. And as much as I love everybody here, I'm not paying 28% tax on every transaction. So we send it to our bank account, our business bank, right? And then our CPA figures it out. And then we can send that funds out to wherever we want. But it gives us a lot more opportunities and opens a lot more doors for us. And essentially, these centralized exchanges that are US based, you have to be incorporated to list on them. You have to have some sort of legal opinion. You have to have an actual corporation. We want to not have any limitations, and it helps us function with a corporate structure that way.
A lot of the exchanges that require 10 days before you can pull your money out, if you put money in to use the Ether to purchase it. Is there a faster way to do that you know of? If I want to get Ether today,
yeah.
Transfer it over?
No, so you move a debit card. Like a debit card, it limits you. As you guys know, there's whatever your limitation is. I think it's like $500, $700. So what you're talking about is doing a wire transfer through like Coinbase, and it used to be quick with Coinbase, like 2 to 3 days. But I've heard now it's taking up to as many as like 10 days for that wire to go through. It's crazy. Yeah.
So on the live stream, we have a question from Ed, and he says, can you explain the details of the whale tax? I've been unable to find the tax brackets anywhere.
So there's no actual, the question was regarding whale tax, right? So when people sell significant amounts, they want to know what that breaks down to, what it equates to. If there's an actual chart that tells you if you sell this much, how much am I going to lose? There is no exact percentage or chart because it's a sliding scale. It's based on price impact. So that price impact will vary depending on what the market cap is. So if I sold $1 million worth of coins today, I may only get $900,000 worth of Ethereum. But if I sold $1 million 2 weeks from now and the market cap was double, I wouldn't get taxed as much because the price impact would be less. So it's depending on what that overall price impact is, and that's what dictates how much you lose. So if you lose 10% on the whale tax, then that money just goes right back into the liquidity pool for Uniswap. It doesn't go to like a magic wallet and Aaron spends it all on something.
So what is the current growth? What is it like compared to what was initially projected for Saitama?
For the roadmap, you're saying? So we're kind of like a chameleon, right? We change like every day, I feel like. Our roadmap, specifically when we started, was based on our platform, the Saitaman, and education. Like, that was like our two main focuses. We wanted to educate the general public on what crypto was, give them an understanding of how to utilize it, and ultimately invest. And then we had our platform to make investing easier. So I think since then, and continuously, we just evolve, right? Because anybody is familiar with, the digital age that we're in now is constantly evolving. So even now, as I sit here and talk to you, next month we'll still be on the same path, but we may integrate different things into it because that's the speed of technology. That's how these things work. So if we have an opportunity and it makes sense to us and it makes sense to the holders, and I think it benefits the company, then we'll find a way to make it work. If it doesn't make sense, and I feel there's too much risks involved, then we won't do it. But you gotta have an open mind. That's what we kind of do. We were just like, we look at everything from a 10,000 foot view, and like, okay, is this going to help us get where we want to be? Is this what's best for the company and the project? If it is, then we'll integrate it. Our white paper is in desperate need of revamping, but I feel like as soon as we revamp it, we'll need to do it again. So.
There's been a lot of popularity in crypto space and DeFi. Is there any plans to go in that direction?
I mean, we're DeFi now. What do you mean?
Well, so is that the staking that's going to occur? Is that the part? There's a lot of lenders out there in the crypto market.
Oh, okay. So are you talking about more like crypto, like
finance is what they're called.
Yeah, like a loan, like a crypto loan. And so we've had.
Like instead of trying to disrupt the banks.
Yeah. The plan is to remove banks altogether. So if I think about banks, like I don't even use banks. I have a bank card, but I keep very little money in my bank. It doesn't appeal to me, and it really has no purpose. So the idea, and what I really like about crypto and its potential, is we can take the money from the 1% and distribute it to the masses, right? And that's what it's about, because anybody can make money in cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete, a scholar, a business owner, or a paper boy, right? You can make tons of money in cryptocurrency. So if we can take that money from the bank, from the JP Morgans of the world, and distribute it to the masses, that's great. So
asking for keeping up like competition.
Yeah. So there is opportunities, and there is some crypto coins out there that do offer like a decentralized crypto loan, right, where you can borrow against your crypto. You still have to have a similar APR function to that. And we did talk a little bit about having like a SATA bank. So I don't want to say no because it's absolutely something that we could do. Like I said, we're like a chameleon. So if it makes sense to us, then we'll do it. But it has been talked about in the past.
We got a bunch of people on the stream asking about Saita City. Can you go into some detail about that?
Say what?
Saita City.
Oh, yeah. So you guys are quick. Like everybody's like Nancy Drew. I'll tell you, I post something. So I would mention the Saita City, which would be kind of like our metaverse that we're looking at. And it's not. It's just kind of like an idea that we had thrown around like for a branding type, right? But I really do feel like the metaverse is going to be the next big thing. So we are involved in that, and we're kind of at the ground floor of creating metaverse style structure for our coin and for Saitaman, or Saita City, if you will. And to kind of break that down for you guys that may not understand what a metaverse is, it's essentially a simulation integrating virtual reality. So you can be in your home with your virtual reality glasses, goggles, or your dedicated room, and you can do gaming, you can do social visits, like you can literally, everybody in this room could be in a simulation with your virtual reality gear, right? You can be talking to one another with your avatar, you can change your clothing, you can, go to a bar, you can go watch a live event, you can go to the mall, but it's integrated in real life time and real life, action. So if you went to a mall in the metaverse and you tried on a pair of shoes, you could buy them and they will be delivered to your house. Those exact shoes. But the real version, right? Not a digital piece. So we're looking to integrate that. So we have a lot of things that we're working on, different phases that we're going to be rolling out. It's pretty time consuming and it's really strenuous. So we have different things. We have a roadmap put out. The idea is to get through these next 7 days and then get through Vegas and then roll out all this other stuff that we're working on.
Everybody asks me what makes Saitama different than other tokens and crypto, and I always tell them you guys have a game plan. So
Yeah.
after the 13th, you do Saitaman. What's your top 3 priorities for our future? Top 3.
So the way that we have been successful, what separates us from everybody else, I think, is most cryptocurrencies are one-sided. Right? They come into the space like, we're going to do one thing, right? We're going to create a game. We're going to create NFTs. We're going to create a platform or a swap or a wallet, and that's all we're going to do. We're just crypto. That's all we're going to do. We're going to get it listed on Binance, and then we're going to go home. That's kind of been the mindset for crypto moving forward. We brought a different mindset altogether and said, okay, we're going to treat this like a business and we're going to grow it. We're going to create opportunities, we're going to generate partnerships, we're going to expand. And as I mentioned, you can do anything with crypto. You can integrate it into any industry. You can create payment systems, like we're working on creating payment systems for small countries so they can retain some of that money into their infrastructure instead of having it outsourced to banks here in the US. So you take small countries that don't really have an infrastructure of their own economy, then they're already giving out 40% of what they make to a country that doesn't even support them, right? So how do we create an infrastructure and an ecosystem for them to retain all that money? It's easy, and crypto allows that to happen. So it's a thought process like that that separates us from anybody else. Top 3 things, I would say metaverse being up there. I think it's really important. I think it would be amazing for us to be the first crypto coin or company in general to roll out an entirely functional metaverse platform. Facebook is trying, but they haven't gotten there. Right? We have the tools and resources to do it. So if we could do that first and be the very first business entity in the space to do that, I think that would be mind-blowing. I think it would really push us over the edge.
Maybe work with Facebook and do Oculus.
Yeah, so Oculus is a virtual reality company, right? But we don't really need Facebook. Facebook will need us. So if they want to partner, you can call me. I'll set them up for a call. Don't worry about it.
So that's 1.
So the other 2 is obviously integrating different functions of the wallet. We want to grow it. So we really want to grow our education platform. We're creating content to get on there. I think it's really important for us to get this stuff out to the masses, like Gen Z, Gen X, the investors, leaders of tomorrow, involved in digital cryptocurrency, blockchain development, cybersecurity. I don't want to have to outsource a lot of these jobs. I think we can create a lot of jobs. So we want to actually have physical locations like Q2, Q3, looking at having a studio on the West Coast and then one on the East Coast. So we have some partners that we're working with now to have studios developed where we can have physical locations. We can develop our own games. We can develop our own infrastructure where we don't have to outsource anything. So now we're creating the jobs, but we're having our own education content be available as micro-credential courses at these colleges, and then taking people out of college, providing internships, and then placing them into the world and into the job, wherever they want to go. So that's part of Q2, Q3, so that's up there, priority. So those 2. third priority, I mean, it's really just about integration, right? Just creating different opportunities, just getting into every industry. So we have a lot, and I feel like once we kind of roll out this medical platform and what we're going to do with it, I feel like a lot of different industries will follow suit because there's really opportunity for everybody. So once people start to see what we're doing and how they're integrating and how what we're doing with them, you know, they're going to be like, hey, I want to get involved. So yeah, it'll be a big.
Continuing what you just said, how do we, your family, help you achieve your goals?
Nothing. I mean, everything that everybody's done so far is just be supportive. Like, that's all it really takes. Because anything that I've ever been involved in, any company I've ever been a part of, any coin, and this is really like my first actual coin that I've kind of started with. The community is incredible, right? That's what really makes us better than anybody else, is the community. Because we didn't get 280,000 followers by me coming here or posting on my Twitter. It came from 180,000 people telling their friends, telling their family, you know, and the snowball effect, right? That's how that happens. So everybody talking about it and promoting is the best form of marketing, right? Like, we could fly a blimp over the U.S. with a Saitama flag, and it's not going to do anybody any good because they're not going to know what that means, right? But if you guys are explaining it to them, that's the best form of marketing. So that's what it takes.
How many people is in Saitama team working?
So we have, the question is, how many people do we have as part of the Saitama team? So we have 7 developers, right? Myself, Aaron, Max, MK, Nam, Steve, and Gabe. So that's 7 developers. And then we probably have, I want to say, close to like 100 people that are moderators, developers, you know, work on the back end of marketing. Like, we have a marketing firm, we have a content creation team that works underneath Gabe. You know, and if you guys don't know, Gabe was like an executive creator with Vice down in Brazil. So he's like amazing. You know, it isn't, well, you guys probably heard him, but he's like the creative genius behind what we do with digital creation. So he has a whole team of people working with him, you know, 10, 20 people that create all the digital content and stuff that you see. For, you know, the game, he works with our game and creating the 3D imagery and graphics. The actual platform, the Saitaman, like, Max runs, and he's got all these developers that work for him because he's not at home like coding it by himself. It would take him like 10 years to do that. So he's got like 20 people. We're pushing out the wallet, and what would normally take a company like a year to do, like, these guys are doing it in like 6 months. So it's pretty incredible. So I think we got like 100. I think 100 would be a safe bet.
It sounds all super optimistic and positive. Is there anything that keeps you up at night? And if so, what is that?
Well, I think in order for me to stay up at night, it would refer to me that I actually slept, which doesn't happen. But no, I sleep like a baby because I know where this is going. Like, I see the potential, and I try to relay that to everybody. Like, everybody that I see, I try to relay it to the best that I can. And some people are optimistic about it, and a lot of people are not really believers in crypto and what it is. You know, even my wife for a long time, she didn't believe me, right? Until I had Dogecoin and I was investing in Dogecoin, and she's like, that's not real money, it's fake. So I actually had to cash out my Dogecoin and give her like $1,000 and okay, go buy it. Okay, now you can do whatever you want. Okay. Well, because this was actually supposed to be a hobby of mine, but most people play golf. All I know how to do is business and make money. So, and I suck at golf. So
Russ, you talk about having such a great team, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does the future look like in terms of headquartering somewhere? Where will Saitama be headquartered?
You know, yeah, Texas, right? It's too expensive anywhere else. No, so we'll have different functions. I want to have, like I said, like a studio. We have some connections in Hollywood that we have studio space there already. We have connections in Atlanta with Ozzy that we can do some stuff for the studio in Atlanta. But I want to have different functions. So I want to have like a gaming the gaming lab, you know, headquarters, education creation, like all these other things. So I want to have a headquarters. Where that's going to be, I don't know. I would like probably somewhere in Houston because or around this area because it's really centralized. Like, I'm not far away. Aaron's here. I mean, Max is in Boston, but that's what nobody cares about it.
now. People
Yeah, NAM's in Washington, and so it's kind of simple. So when we did our summit, we did it in San Antonio because it was central. Everybody, they could fly from the West Coast to the East Coast, right in Texas, and then I drove a couple hours, he drove a few hours, and then I think MK said he wants to move stateside after a few months anyways, and Gabe's the same way, so Steve also.
We got a question on the live stream. They're asking, can we transfer our existing Saitaman coins from Trust Wallet or flat from Saitamask once it launches? Example, MetaMask to Saitamask.
Yeah, so the question was if you can transfer your tokens from a MetaMask or Trust Wallet into the Saitamask. So when you open up the Saitamask with the App Store, it'll ask you for the 12-word seed phrase. All you have to do is import that seed phrase. So if you've ever opened up a new wallet, and so if you have like a Coinbase wallet and you want to open up a MetaMask wallet or a Trust wallet, all you do is import those 12 words, and then everything shows up. So it's the same concept. Everything that you own will just pile over.
Is there going to be a fee associated with that?
So the fee is not associated on our end, maybe on Trust Wallet. So it should be, I'm trying to think, so like when I have a Coinbase wallet and I open up a Trust wallet and integrated my seed phrase, I don't think there was a fee at all. I think everything just populated. Yeah. So I would assume it's the same. But if it's not, then we'll yell at Max. We'll just gang up on him.
Sounds cool.
But yeah, so when we make exchanges, so if you want to send, if you open up a new wallet in Saita Wallet, and you want to send your Saitama coin from Trust Wallet to Saita Wallet, you'll probably get hit with that 2%, and then whatever the Ethereum fee is. But that's not us, that's Trust Wallet that utilizes that. So, yeah. Any other questions you guys got?
Good luck in a week.
Yeah. I feel like a bride, right? A week before the wedding. Like we have seating charts, hors d'oeuvres. It's crazy. I know, I just told the girls that helped me out, I was like, you just point me in the right direction. When do I need to be there? And then I'll come down. But it should be a lot of fun.
We had a couple people on the stream asking about a KU coin. Is that relevant to Saitama?
Oh, no, so he's talking about KuCoin. That's just the exchange. Yeah, so we're waiting for them to give us all the information. Right? The same thing. It was the same thing with Bitmart. They just dragged their feet. Exchange listings always drag their feet. I don't know why. It's really not that difficult of a process. But I told them they probably should get on it because we go, our platforms next Saturday. So, I mean, we can market them, but we'll get more, marketing on our end. We'll market the Saita Wallet before we market KuCoin.
Are the numbers on CoinMarketCap accurate for Saitama? Are they?
No. So we've been ranked on, the question was the rankings and the numbers on CoinMarketCap. They haven't changed our rankings since, May. I feel like we're at 2,500. Our market cap should actually be like top 50 right now, top 50 crypto. I think Nam he already filled in and submitted everything. We actually had to hire somebody to go in and push CoinMarketCap to adjust our stuff, which is crazy. We shouldn't have to, but we did. And I think you said Monday we should get some updates on that. So hopefully Monday, fingers crossed, they'll update our CoinMarketCap. Hoping, because that will push us from 2,500 to where we should be, which is top 50. Soon to be top 5.
With the Saitamask, will we be able to, will we have merchandise where we can purchase merchandise with our Saitama token?
Yeah. So we're having, we actually have a marketing firm on board right now that we're creating a whole merch shop with. So it'll be on the Saita store, Saita merchandise store. Like you can go on there and buy stuff. We have everything set up, right?
It's going to be done.
Yeah, it'll be done.
Yeah.
Will the merchandise come from the community, or is it just merchandise that Saitama put out?
Yeah, so we have a third-party logistics / manufacturing company that does it for us for now, right? And then we design all the logos and all that stuff. We pick the brand, the quality of the material. The only thing we're actually physically not doing is pumping them out and shipping them. But as far as the logo design, graphics, and the actual material that they'll be printed on is our own input. But when you buy them, it gets shipped out automatically. We just outsource that stuff.
So just to answer with, I think you're talking about the SATA market where like it's going to be like Amazon. Yes, people can start selling this stuff, but that's going to be probably phase 2 or phase 3. For now, it's just going to be merchandise, from our end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plans to register with FinCEN?
With FinCEN?
Yeah.
It's not in the plan, but maybe. Like I said, nothing's out of the question. It's just everything needs to kind of be prioritized a little bit, and then, like I said, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. That's kind of the game plan. If it makes sense to the community and everything, we'll do it. We'll take the necessary steps. But like, it's been the most difficult is being able to prioritize all these things, because we have constantly different opportunities. Like I get a million messages and emails every day that people want to do this and do that with the community, and they want to do this with the token, and then I never get a chance to reach out to them. And I feel bad. I'm like, oh no, we want to, I do, we really do, we want to do this, but we just don't have, it's just not there yet. Like we're on, I can't put it at the top of the list because we got so much other stuff going on. But yeah, it's possible.
If we as the holders would like to have a banner or something made with Saitama, is it okay for us to use the image to make a table banner or cover the Saitama image?
Yeah, so she was asking if the community members want to make a banner, if that's okay to do that. Yeah, for example, yeah. So there's actually a guy, his name's Crypto Steve, and he's in our Telegram. I think he might be in our Facebook too. He has a print shop, and he has all our logos. So Saitama sponsored a car event a couple weeks ago, right? It's just a buddy of mine. They have this Swift car group. So I just emailed him and I said, hey, I need a banner, this length, this is what I want on it, so we can sponsor this car show. And his print shop made it out and then mailed it to me, within like 10 days. It was really cool. So he does a lot of stuff. Like I have a whole box full of like stickers with QR codes and all that stuff. He just printed out a bunch of them and mailed them to me. So, and he's just a community member. He just happens to own a print shop.
So locally in Houston, we also have Han. So if anything, with printing, you can always, ask Han. And she actually did all these shirts, so she has been, a great help for us. And yeah, I would like to thank her.
And she's walked many of us through the buying process.
For 2 days.
Yeah, no, it's a process. I know, trust me. Yeah, like I said, that's why I did my dad's wallet for him when he was asleep, or else it would have been a 3-day process.
He just recently gave me his phone to me. Before he was just like, okay, tell me.
You told me what happens in the shop stays in the shop.
That's right. That's right.
It's still in the shop.
When I went up and did the podcast with Willie D and Scarface a little bit ago, and Scarface is the same way, and he's a character if you guys listen to the podcast. And when we got done, he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. He just threw his phone at me and was like, figure it out. And he set up the wallet and get it started, so he was like, all right, I got you. But I tried to walk him through it, and he's like, nope, just do it for me. It's a process. We'll make it easier.
Are you willing to answer a question about Bitmart, or should we just skip that?
For Bitmart, what was the question?
They have the withdrawal button grayed out, and it seems to be very confusing if we're getting reflections or not.
Is that because they're not doing KYC?
No,
So-
I'm verified KYC.
Yeah, no, I don't know why. I don't use, even now, I honestly I don't even use exchanges. But I can find out. I mean, so the reason why it took so long for us to get on their platform is because they were having issues with our reflections, with our tokenomics. So they didn't integrate that onto their platform, as far as I know. Why they haven't initiated the withdrawal is I don't know if did it start and then stop, or was it never
I bought
available?
it day 2 as soon as you released it. I did both gate
And that's never been available?
Just to check them out. It's never been available.
Okay.
And customer service has told me yes, we'll get reflections, and no, we won't get reflections.
Yeah, as far as I know, they weren't, because that was the issue, because they have to get commission when they do that. So if they're getting commission per transaction and also giving reflections, they're going to charge you more on both ends to make up for that.
Okay.
So it's kind of was up to us. What's that mean?
Denmark is kind of building equity within the amount that they're holding, so you're not going to be able to exchange.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay.
They freeze the equity, they freeze it until they have enough equity.
Oh.
Well, see, that's our liquidity. We control it though, so that's kind of shady. Okay. I'll ask them about it. Because when we open exchanges like that, we provide liquidity, right? They don't do that, we do. So when we have what's called a market maker, which is a third party that comes in and we provide USDT and Saitama tokens. That's how you have that buy-sell wall, is through that liquidity function. But we provide all those tokens, not them. So if they're holding your coins hostage, that doesn't have anything to do with us, so that means I'll have to call them and ask them what their problem is.
Yeah, they said it was you guys asked them to do it.
No, that's not accurate. I can assure you that conversation never happened.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Anything on the stream?
We had somebody say that it's been a very awesome stream, so informative. They have so many questions that you have now answered. And you are the guru for report.
Like that.
Now Aaron's going to sing you guys a song. Awesome. No, thanks you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. And for everybody that's coming to Vegas, I look forward to it. Good to see you there. There's a what? Tux? I don't know. Nam all he owns is a jean jacket. So I don't need to else. He's the only man I know that wears a jean jacket. So. Poor guy. It does. It's Canadian tuxedo all the way. So no, we'll be in suits. You guys, I think it's less formal, right? Just no tennis shoes and jeans, but I think other than that.
Thanks for coming here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.